Well, a raft of wandering otters, and again it's me, Steve Solo. What a week we've been having. Paperwork, more paperwork, worry about taxes coming up, and then of course the lingering issues with the election, which I'm not revealing a side, or a favoritism for one side or the other. It's just kind of, well, there are many things that kind of sucked. Anyway, I hope everybody is well. We're having a low-key day. We've had ups and downs. Paul is convinced that the Chinese virologist that he feels is responsible for this and has been telling people that she's responsible, he feels that she is now targeting him and out to get him. So that Paul has been up late many nights. Last night was the first time I was able to have a decent night's sleep, and I think part of it is Paul just got to a point where he was too exhausted to interrupt his own sleep in order to interrupt mine. But the 2 nights before, about every hour, half hour, I would be called into his room for something urgent. And I love my son, so I really have a hard time saying no to him. But there were some moments where I did lose my patience and ended up being sorry for what I had said and told him so. Anyway, that's where we are right now. It is great news that there's going to be a vaccine, but it's not going to be really helpful to us until most of the country and most places locally here are able to operate again without people wearing masks. The whole thing with Paul, he's not really scared of the COVID as he should be, but he is scared of masks. He hates masks. It reminds him, quote, of medical procedures, and that's why one of the big reasons he doesn't like them. So Paul, has had lots and lots of stressful moments before COVID, and then COVID came along and decided to turn the decibel level up to about 190 on as far as sensory irritation goes. We're getting better. We're taking it one day at a time. Great news about the vaccine, and it does at least kind of show promise that we're rounding third base. Well, we're gonna be rounding third base. I think we'll be past third base once we get all the when the vaccine's out there, about 40%. One other little wrinkle, of course, is that a lot of people, and this could include you or some of you, is a lot of people are going to refuse to take the vaccine, which I think is their right. They're very they're very skeptical about vaccines in general. Many people in the autism community feel that vaccines are what triggered the onset of autism symptoms in their children. That's kind of a minority now. I do see I'm no scientist, and I don't really like following the science of it. I generally trust science and the process, but there is some merit to concerns about, like, the diptet that's used to be given all at once, and that's what Paul had. And I remember that being kind of a pivotal moment when Paul kind of seemed to start acting different. Even that day he was kind of distant and everything. Before then, He was starting to talk, and he was starting to form words, and that all dried up after the diptet. So yes, that's a correlation. That's not a cause. It's just like global warming. Yes, there is global warming. It's correlated to two things, if you ask me. It's correlated, yes, to carbon emissions, but also it's correlated to an explosion of population. I remember in my lifetime, in my cohorts, my classmates in school, I remember when the world's population got to 1 billion. 1 billion. That was in the middle 60s. And then look at what it is now. If you want to get scared and worried about something, worry about the sheer number of people in the world. The more people there are, the lower the quality of life is for everyone. And I'm not suggesting some kind of real weird evil solution, but I am saying that the global population probably has as much or is as much or more correlated to global warming as our use of carbon emitting fuels and whatnot. So newsflash, maybe we need to look at some kind of way of controlling our population growth and not and in a positive, proactive way, rather than whining at people about driving fossil fuel cars when there's way more people in the world than there are those fossil fuel cars. And by the way, newsflash, people are carbon emitting units as well. That's my understanding of the science. You can please correct me if I'm wrong. But I think our problems are bigger than us just getting on alternative fuels. I think we have much bigger problems facing the world. So even if we get through this global warming thing, we still have exploding population and limited resources. So think about that. Oh, and by the way, come see what I see. I'm going to Costco, so buckle up. We're after Wandering Otters, continuing our journey, today's journey today. Yes, I went to Costco, got a bunch of stuff, went to Five Guys to get Paul a burger, went to Habit Burger to get Susan a different kind of burger. They have a French onion char burger. That's what she got. Anyway, Paul had the notion strike him and he wants to go out for a drive. So here we are, getting ready to go for a drive, right? Hopefully, yeah. The other thing is, and we talked a little bit about this, Paul wants to confront the virologist that you think is responsible for spreading COVID. Her name is?
Shai Ziegler.
Could you say it a little louder?
Shai Ziegler.
Shai Ziegler, yeah. And anyway, we figured out that we weren't going to be able to drive to China tonight. So the next best thing is to just go for a drive. So continue seeing what I and now Paul are seeing. So come join us as we continue today's journey, Friday the 13th. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Bum. I don't see how there's any way either one of us could play professional sport. I'm almost 300 pounds, and you're how much?
500.
Almost. Well, you're 470. What? 471. So We're working up. It'd go a lot faster if we could go to the gym and work out, huh? And I know we could work out at home, we just never seem to do it.
I missed the gym.
Well, I definitely want to go back once once COVID's over.
We go home now.
Sure thing. Well, I'm going to have to stop the in this video right here because I had some technical difficulties. So there's a whole bunch of video that's missing that Paul and I filmed that night, that rainy night on Friday the 13th. At any rate, it is right now. It is Monday morning, and I do have some bad news. Cal played UCLA, and we didn't do too well. There were some bright spots, but honestly, I love you guys. I love watching football. I love watching the intercollegiate sports, but
Right now, it's just bull.
yeah, I don't know that I'm on board with all the risk involved, and I know it's
Bullshit.
I know it's a minimal risk for younger people that are in good shape, okay, but still
Embarrassing.
it's and then I really just want to treat this football season, or collegiate football season, as like a exhibition season. Anyway, that's my story.
Now it's a
Thank you for
compromise
watching.
Season.
Hang on.
It's a compromise season.
Right. All right. So, what are we going to look up, Paul? The fifth Beatle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad thinks something else, but I think something else.
Why are we looking up the fifth Beatle?
He was in Hamburg with the other four, I think.
Right. Yeah. I was telling Paul about "She Loves You." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Translates to "She liebt dich." Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then "I Want to Hold Your Hand" is "Give me a diamond." Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to sing it?
Give me diamond. Give me diamond.
Very cool. And then "Sie liebt dich."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sleep big. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. So, Raft to Wandering Otters, we'll see you.
In the next one. And Althea saying.
Auf Wiedersehen. Yeah, yeah.